What's going on, everyone? Mitesh here with MTech, and today I have for you guys my full review of the Nokia 6.1. In this review, I'm mainly going to be going over the day-to-day experience with using this phone, so talking about the software, the battery life, and miscellaneous things that I found while using this phone. If you guys are more interested in the specs, the speed test, camera review, I did separate videos for all of those things, and I will have a link to all of them in the description, so be sure to check that out if you guys are interested. But with that out of the way, let's get started. Get weekly tech news, product reviews, and how-to videos. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next upload. Alright guys, so let's start off by talking about the hardware on this device, and let me just start off by saying this thing is built really well. This thing feels super premium. It's made of all aluminum and it's got these nice copper accents all around, which I really like. One thing I don't like, however, is this black coating that's on the back of this device. It is like the exact opposite of what's on my Pixel 2, which also has a coating. On my Pixel 2, that coating makes it so it's it's pretty grippy and you can just keep it in your hand. This one, however, is pretty slippery, and it also tends to pick up fingerprints much more easily than anything else except for glass. Glass tends to pick up way quicker. But yeah, speaking of fingerprints, let's talk about this fingerprint reader. So it is on the back and it's nice and fast. It works really well. In my unboxing video, I did complain about the placement. I felt like it was too low, and I still find that to be true if I'm switching over from another device like my Pixel 2. I just find the placement just to be a little bit too low, but after using it for like about a week and a half, you get used to the placement. So I wouldn't worry too much about the fingerprint reader. It works well, and it's nice that it's there. Alright, so moving on to the other side of the device, of course we have our display. So this is a 5.5 inch 1080p LCD display, and let me go ahead and tell you guys, this thing is a great display. So it gets plenty bright, so you can use this thing outside without any issues, and the colors on it are really good. I do find them to be a little bit cooler than what's on my Pixel 2, but I would say the colors are relatively accurate on this device. Now, it would have been nice if they could put in an OLED panel versus an LCD, but at this price point, it's really hard to argue with it. And it would have also been nice if it had been a taller 18:9 or taller aspect ratios that we've been seeing recently, but once again, at this price point, this panel is just fantastic. This display is really great for consuming content like YouTube and Netflix. However, the experience is diminished a little bit because of this bottom firing speaker. So this device only has a single bottom firing speaker, and it's really not that good. It can get loud enough, but when you get up to higher volumes, it sounds pretty tinny and it just doesn't sound very good. Coming from a device like the Pixel 2 where I have two front-facing speakers, coming to something like this is just not very good. And especially the placement of the speaker, it's really, really easy to cover up. So I would tell you to go ahead and lay this down somewhere if you want to hear it better. Don't try to hold it in your hand and try to listen to it because it's just not very good. However, it does make up for the fact that it has a really crappy speaker with the fact that it has a headphone jack. So if you want to listen to something, you can just quickly plug in your headphones and you're good. Something that I wish my Pixel had, but it doesn't. And it works really well. It doesn't have the best DAC in the world, but it sounds pretty good when you plug stuff into it. Alright, so next up, let's move on from the hardware to talking about software. And this is where I think Nokia's done a fantastic thing by making all of their devices Android One devices. So not even just their budget phones, but even their flagship phones like the Nokia 8 Sirocco, they've made all of them Android One devices. And what that means is that you're getting clean, stock Android, and you're getting updates straight from Google, including security updates every single month for at least 2 or if not 3 years for security updates. So yeah, I like the fact that they did this. Stock Android to me is just way better than what most manufacturers are putting on their phones. Yes, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of like a Samsung TouchWiz experience. Like, you won't be able to, I don't know, hold up your hand to take a selfie or something like that. You can't have it do, I don't know, face detection and other things like that. But I think it's a perfect trade-off for when you're getting something that just works all the time. I think more people would trade off all those features for something that works in a budget device. So in that way, I think Nokia has done a great thing by making an Android One device. Now, it's not all perfect with Android One software. It still has the occasional app crash, and yeah, it's just never going to be perfect, especially on a mid-range device, but honestly, it's good enough. It's like I'm getting a Pixel 2, a slightly slower version of a Pixel 2 for like $300, and I think that's a great deal. It even gets gestures from the Pixel 2 has, so you can do things like swipe down on the fingerprint reader to bring down your notification shade. You can also double tap the power button to go directly to the camera, and yeah, those things are awesome. I will say that the double tap to power button does work. The camera will come up, but sometimes when it's like if you're waking up from like cold, it takes like a second or two to let you take the camera, which I mean, it doesn't happen on my Pixel 2, but it does on this phone. So it's not exactly like the Pixel 2, but I think it's pretty close. And finally, one of the last things I want to cover in this review was the battery life. And so the combination of hardware and software here makes for tremendous battery life. So this thing lasts me easily a day and a half before I have to charge it again. The Snapdragon 630 processor, stock Android together, seriously, battery life has been fantastic on this device. So if you're getting this, you have no reason to worry about battery life. My Pixel 2 does not last as long as this phone does, and yeah, it's fantastic. I think it has a 3500 milliamp hour battery too, so that also helps. Overall, I think Nokia has done a great job with this phone, the Nokia 6.1. I think it's got great build quality, the specs are fantastic, it's super fast, and it gets updates straight from Google. Now the one downside is that camera, and you guys should definitely go check out my full review, but suffice to say, like, the camera is basically what you expect out of a budget camera. It does well in good light, but in poor lighting, it's just not that great. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys in this one. If you guys liked it, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you guys want to see more videos like this, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!